Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It is me, KJ, and I'm coming back with another video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the word girl boss and why is it starting to piss women off just a little bit. So if you don't know what girl boss is or what the word even means, where it comes from at all, you're not alone. If you've heard it before, we're gonna dive a little bit in the kiddie pool to figure out where this word even came from, and also why some women in certain sectors of the world are really holding on to this term of describing themselves, and why some women like myself, it just never resonated with me. Ever. I've heard the word before, I've seen the Netflix show, and it just never hit with me. But we're gonna dive into why it has something to do with race. So just prepare yourself. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into the video. So girl boss is a word that was introduced by Sophia Amoruso, that sounds right, in 2014, because she had a book literally called Girl Boss. And in the book, she described her rags to riches story to becoming the owner and CEO of the store Nasty Gal. And if you don't know what Nasty Gal is essentially, how would you describe it? It's essentially a store online like Fashion Nova, but they sell very Madonna-esque, Cyndi Lauper vintage attire, and it's at a bit of a higher price, but essentially that's what she does. She started on eBay, by the way, and she got so much business off of eBay that she was able to boost it to creating a website. So because of her description of what a girl boss was, the definition of a girl boss can be tricky depending on where you go for it. So if you're just going off of Sophia's definition of a girl boss is a woman whose success is defined in opposition to the masculine business world in which she swims upstream. So Sophia essentially just describes a girl boss as a woman who is in the shark infested waters of the business world. She is a guppy. She's little Nemo swimming through the ocean all by her lonesome, and she finds a way to make it through the sharks to to succeed. That's essentially her definition of it. And after her definition, it grew a huge following on social media, and also it prompted a BBC article that kind of agreed with her that this was going to be a rallying cry for young women everywhere. So in the BBC article, they described with her, the girl boss, that she signaled a defiantly female rebellion against the likes of 80s power dressing trends, and as a rallying cry for a generation of young women who might not otherwise have thought to start their own businesses. Girl boss bore countless hopes, dreams, and gleefully hard-nosed aspirations out into the ether. They also stated that the intended purpose of Girl Boss was to inspire, and essentially they thought Girl Boss was going to give women a sense of empowerment, a sense of this I am girl, hear me roar. It was going to give us something to cling on to, a way to describe our triumphs in business and in the world and in success, essentially. But like most good things done with great intentions, it's not always great intentions for everyone. That's just life. It only, as it has grown in the 7 years of its conception, it's really shown that it only describes certain women positively, and it really undermines our goals and our aspirations. It really undermines the very thing it was set forth to describe. And we're gonna keep going, and then I'll give you my thoughts. So In the article, Magdalene Zawiska, a reader in consumer and gender psychology at the UK's Anglia Ruskin University, notes, "It is very difficult to escape the deeply rooted gender stereotypes, and many such linguistic attempts backfire. When girl boss immediately draws attention to the feminine, it also infantilizes the role of a female as a boss. Have we ever heard about boy bosses? When women take on masculine attributes to gain power and influence, it is seen as a negative because those traits are only accepted by men." What I was rearing up to, by calling ourselves girl boss, it's supposed to be inspiring. It's supposed to make us feel powerful, but we're actually giving in to the masculine. We're actually giving into the toxic masculine stratosphere that we're trying to infiltrate. We're going into this world of business with men, and we're allowing them and the world to look at us and our success in this same stratosphere that they're in as us being girls trying to be bosses, which is essentially going against what we want from them. We want them to see us as equals, as to see us as women, not only taking on the masculine tendencies that they have and doing it well and succeeding in those ways, but we're also being able to be feminine, but not in the way that undermines our achievements, because by calling us girls, you're undermining our achievements as the women we are. You're feminizing the word boss when it doesn't. Boss has no gender. Boss has no masculinity or femininity. But by us putting girl in front of it, it feminizes a term that makes them more comfortable. We're feminizing the term boss to really make men more comfortable. Because when we do take on those masculine tendencies, when we enter these business arenas and we're not giving off feminine energy and cute vibes and just really pretty energy, it's seen as negative. When you come in as a woman with the same tendencies as a man, it is not taken the same way. They are threatened. They want to crush you. But if you go into, as Sophia's example, if you are a guppy in a shark infested water, they don't threaten you. They don't feel threatened by you. They'll allow you into their ocean. They'll allow you to swim freely. She's just a girl boss. But if you come in as a shark, a girl shark amongst the guy sharks, they feel the need to overpower you, to take away your sense of powerfulness, your sense that, hey, I can crush you just as easily as you can crush me. And therein lies the first problem, really the main problem with girl boss. It doesn't allow us to it doesn't allow us to take on masculine traits in a positive way, which is what needs to happen. Women can take on masculine traits, because when you think about it, what are masculine traits when it comes to being a boss? Powerful, in charge, direct, straight to the point. Those are seen as the masculine traits, the successful masculine traits that if we take on, it's seen as a negative. But really those traits are what are needed to be a boss, no matter the gender. No matter what you're doing, that is what you need to take on. So moving past Sophia's definition from 2014, there's been a few other definitions of the word, as there tend to be, and the one definition by the Free Dictionary. So the Free Dictionary adopted the word girl boss, and they describe it as a confident, capable woman who pursues her own ambitions instead of working for others or otherwise settling in life. Despite the name, a girl boss does not necessarily have her own business. The phrase was popularized by Sophia, founder of the fashion company Nasty Gal. And it begs the question for us women: why are you still working at this dead-end job? You need to be more of a girl boss and take control of your life. So, just to break down that definition really quickly. So, the Free Dictionary has moved past Sophia's definition of a girl boss. Sophia's definition of a girl boss involved owning your own business, essentially. So you are owning your own businesses. You are your own boss. There's no man in charge of you. There's nobody telling you what to do, where to go, how to come, how to move, how to eat, how to sit, how to like this or that. You are your own boss. But since, not everybody can own their own businesses. Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur and own their own businesses. So the definition has moved a little bit past just being a business owner, and it has taken on the concept of just being a girl boss in your own life, taking advantage, taking charge of your happiness and financial success. That is what the Free Dictionary describes. But even that definition really only allows for women who have access to leave these dead-end jobs. Women who have access to take control of their lives. Because some women don't have the availability, they don't have the options, they don't have the options. It's really just the options. They don't have the options to just leave a dead-end job, to take control of your life. Yes, taking control of your life sounds amazing on paper. It sounds beautiful. It's a manifestation phrase that we all want. Take control of your life. But it's not available for all people. It's not an option for everybody. So we move past the Free Dictionary's definition of girl boss, and we get to the kicks and giggles, the Urban Dictionary. So the Urban Dictionary is not here for girl boss whatsoever, and I'm on the same energy. So the Urban Dictionary's definition of girl boss, they literally made it a verb. So it's to make something or someone appear as a feminist idol or inspiration for profit, despite the numerous flaws of the person. So they use examples of, have you seen the new Cruella de Vil trailer? Yeah, they totally girl bossed her, as if she's a villain because she's a girl, not because she tried to make coat out of puppies. The Urban Dictionary, we got no chill. Urban people, black people, and that's what urban mean. Urban just mean black people. We have no chill. So I love their definition because we're truthful. See, if you want truth, come to us. The Urban Dictionary got straight to the point. That is what they're doing. They use girl boss to describe our faults. They use girl boss to describe our successes. They've used the example of Cruella de Vil. They girl bossed Cruella de Vil, who is a grown woman that just wants. That's it. That's all Cruella. That's all Cruella wanted to do was make coats out of fur. That's all she wanted to do. But because her being a grown woman, which is essentially what the Urban Dictionary is saying, her being a grown woman, making a choice, a negative choice, to do something powerful on her own, that didn't make sense. Because we as women, we can't do negative things. That's not, you guys don't do negative things just for power and just because you want to. If you're doing something negative, it's because you are a girl boss looking to find yourself. It's never because we're just women. We can never just be grown women making a choice. We have to be girls looking for ourselves all the time, and it gets tiring. So an opinion piece by Joelle Joubert, and she was honest. She wanted to be a girl boss herself. So she said she wanted to be a girl boss. All her life, I have been praised for doing mundane things that boys would also do without getting praised. Somehow, the fact that I was a girl and made it that far in the competition, or was the only girl to be on that team, was something to be proud of. It's written in the imaginary rule book. Girls who have boyfriends and do not want to own a company cannot be girl bosses. Therefore, since I was a career driven, it made me a special type of girl, a girl boss. It felt empowering because everything I had come to know the word girl had seemed negative up until that point. You run like a girl. You're too girly. She's just a girl. The term girl boss for me and for many other girls and women, a way to reappropriate the word with a positive connotation. But now I just find it condescending. So, not wanting to do the things that other girls wanted to do. And the only term that resonated in a positive light was girl boss, because girl boss essentially is taking charge of your life, doing what you want, not going with society's wants for you, choosing to do something and going and doing it without a man, without your dad, without an uncle, without anybody. You're able to go and accomplish these things. I can agree that the use of the term girl boss started as a celebration of women who get high positions of power in male-dominated environments, such as politics or business. Right now, you are probably picturing someone or multiple people in your head with the idea of girl boss in mind. Tell me, are those girls bosses white, cisgendered, straight, skinny, conventionally beautiful, middle to upper class? Women who self-proclaim themselves girl bosses most likely do not address their own privileges which got them their positions of power. Instead, they use their one area of oppression as their ticket to the girl boss club. Their speeches of empowerment are filled with hypocrisy, as intersectionality is rarely brought into the conversation. I'm sure you've heard it before. It goes like this: everyone can do this because look at me, I'm a woman and I did it. And with those words of encouragement, we are supposed to believe that every black woman, every trans woman, every disabled woman can just as easily be a girl boss too, if she just believes. When it comes to cute terms, when it comes to cute phrases, when it comes to phrases that are in mainstream, that are supposed to empower women, that are supposed to push us forward, that is supposed to be a safe space for us to feel like we are protected by our sisters, like we are understood by each other, there's no space for women who are not straight and white. There's just not. And that is why I have never resonated with the word girl boss, because no one looks at me like a little girl. Nobody looks at me like a girl. Even when I was a child, when I went to doctor's office, no one takes me as a black woman ever as a girl. I haven't been a girl in the eyes of society probably since I was 8, okay? The minute I went through puberty, I was essentially a grown woman in their eyes from the age of 9, because I went through puberty at 9. So from the age of 9, the world has seen me probably as a woman, okay? There's nowhere I go am I seen as a girl boss. Nowhere I go as I am seen as feminine, I'm not seen as a guppy in the ocean. Everywhere I go, people take me as a shark, okay? Everywhere I go, I'm seen as a shark. If I'm not seen as a shark, I'm seen as something that should not be taken seriously, but not because I'm feminine or I'm a girl, but because I'm here for your sexual intake. You know, it's either I'm a shark or I'm Jessica Rabbit. There is no in between, you know, when you're a black woman. That's all they take us as. So when it comes to feminine phrases like girl boss, it doesn't allow for someone that looks like me to come into those spaces as a girl boss. Now, has there been girls that look like me who hashtag have made themselves girl bosses? Of course. You know, I would say Naomi Campbell is a girl boss. You know, I would say Kerry Washington. Just, I don't know if she's like that in business, but just the way she moves, Kerry Washington would give me girl boss vibes. And also, that is also a privilege that they have, because they have pretty privilege. They have soft, pretty privilege. They come into the world as a pretty black woman, a soft, feminine black woman. They give off soft, feminine black woman energy. You see how I did that? Just calm, really sweet, really calm. That's what they want us as. That's the only way we're seen as feminine. So in terms of the word girl boss, you see beautiful white women, skinny, beautiful white women, who own businesses, who owns tech companies, who own apps, who own healthcare, who own beauty, skin, you know, products, who own things. And then they come to us and they're like, hashtag girl boss, you know, while they're being pretty and skinny and white in their little Instagram photos. And they're saying, hey, I'm a girl boss. Come with me. I will lead you on the same path. But it's like, you can't lead me on the same path because our paths are very, very different. Our paths are different. And also, I'm trying not to be negative, but I would think that when that sector of women call themselves girl bosses, I feel like they know what they're doing. They know that they are feminizing a term that does not need to be feminized, because white women, they know how to use their femininity to get what they need from the world. They just do. They know how to move in shark infested waters as a guppy. Even though in their spirit they might be a shark, they know how to move. They know how to use their like, since the beginning of time, white women have used the softening of terms to make it appeasable to men. They know how to make themselves appeasable to men. They know how to make themselves able to move into the same circles as men. Think of Hillary Clinton. White men do not like Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton does not allow them to feminize her. That's the real issue. I mean, Hillary Clinton gives off masculine energy. She wears pantsuits. Her hair is short. She's very direct. She has a strong tone in her voice. She's maintains strong eye contact. She doesn't try to cuten herself up. She doesn't try to make herself appear as the weaker feminine person in any relationship that she's in. She comes with the quote unquote masculine energy, and men don't like it. That's why white men don't like Hillary Clinton. She irks their soul because she goes against what they envision a cisgendered white woman, an attractive white woman, because Hillary Clinton is an attractive white woman. She's also thin, you know. She goes against them trying to feminize her, them trying to marginalize her. She goes against it. She doesn't let them girl boss her, essentially. She comes in like a boss, like the boss that I am. Not because of my gender. I'm a boss. I am an equal as on to you. But with that privilege of her being able to choose to not do the girl boss energy, that is also a privilege. There's so many privileges in the world. We all have a privilege, you know. There's so many biases. There's so many things that as women we have to make a choice with. You know, there's so many choices we have to make when determining whether we're going to go into business, whether we're going to sit at our jobs, whether we're going to stay home, whether we're going to get married, whether we're going to have kids. There's so many interconnected decisions that really determines the way the world sees us. You know, we can't just have one energy. It just doesn't work that way. And I would say that even the cisgendered white women that really cling on to the girl boss, even they're stuck in that privilege that they have, because to go outside their privilege, they might not have the same success if they go outside that cute femininized word of boss. They might not be taken the same. They might not be as successful. So then you have to choose, am I going to be successful, or am I going to use my feminine ways, the privilege that I have as a feminine woman, to move forward in society? You have to make that choice. You can't just be a boss. You can't just be yourself. And I think that is the problem. And that's also why a lot of women are starting to feel patronized by it, because we're getting to a place to where, and when it comes to minority women, we especially, like, minority women are never seen as girl bosses because we're never seen as girls. Think of any video. Think of all those videos you've seen where the officers at the schools, at the high schools, would literally rough up a 14, 15, 16-year-old black girl like she's a grown woman. Whereas when they catch a 14, 15, or 16-year-old white girl, their first instinct is to treat them as a child, because that's what they see them as. They see white women as children until they're at least 30. We don't have that same privilege. We don't have that same energy. So yeah, from the time we go through puberty, we come in as sharks, because the world is out to drown us, hunt us down, and do with us with what they want. So yeah, my energy might be less of a shark. My energy might not be feminine because you won't allow me to be feminine, you know? And I was also, I'm going to bring up one quick point, that the black women, like I said it before, like Kerry Washington, I'm not saying Kerry Washington says she's a girl boss, but that's the type of black woman that would be seen as a girl boss. Rashida from Love and Hip Hop, and if you do not know Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, that's just the ratchet TV that I allow myself to watch. It's the one, yes, it's the one TV show of ratchetity, raggediness that I allow myself to watch. And Rashida calls herself a girl boss. She calls herself a girl boss. She sees herself as a girl boss. And the reason she does is because in society, well, in our community, in black community, she is feminine. Rashida, in the eyes of our community, is no different than cisgendered white women, because she is a feminine, light-skinned woman with a soft voice and a soothing voice. You know, she's a feminine, light-skinned woman. So she's able to girl boss herself. She's able to put herself in avenues and businesses where people take her as feminine, as non-threatening, and they allow her to be the boss. Because that's what essentially, that's another patronizing tone of it. You're patronizing me because you're making a term feminine that doesn't need to be feminine. You're not allowing me to take on the masculine traits that you have as a man, because it sees me as negative. So I'm allowing you in the world to feminize my successes, to feminize my aspirations, to feminize my triumphs and failures, even my failures. If I want to do something bad, you have to feminize that act. Like, oh my God, you're a girl, you didn't know any better. No, I'm a grown woman and I wanted to do this. I wanted to do something negative and I did it. Like, just take it for what it is, you know? So we get to a place where girl bosses are still being used. The term is still being used, and the term can still be used. If you see yourself as a girl boss, if you love that term, by all means, call yourself a girl boss, girl. Like, do you, boo? Do you? Like, nobody can tell you what to do. But I would ask, why are you more comfortable being called a girl boss than just a boss? Like, what mechanism, like what reasonings, what understanding, what thought process pushes us as women to want to call ourselves girl bosses? Like, what is the power in calling ourselves girl bosses? And yes, we can say, well, we're taking the power back, because the word girl is seen as a negative thing. So we're taking the power back in it. But why is girl seen as a negative thing? Why is the term girl seen as negative? Why is the term woman seen as too threatening for men to handle? So when you come in and say I'm a woman, that's threatening to them and their egos. Like, me asserting myself as a woman is threatening to them. Why? Because they want to keep us down. They want to keep us minimized. You know, and I would ask you all, think of all the women who threaten men. Think of all the women that men really don't like. And And I go back to Hillary Clinton. Men do not like Hillary Clinton. They do not like her. They do not like her because she does not take on any feminine traits. The most feminine trait she took on was having her daughter. And she doesn't apologize for it. And you shouldn't apologize for it, because there shouldn't be feminine or masculine traits when it comes to our success in business. Now, I'm speaking mostly in the context of this video in terms of business and jobs in our careers, because that's what Girl Boss describes. So when it comes to that, there should not be feminine or masculine traits. You should not see my tone right now. My tone right now would be seen as masculine and negative to some people, because I'm speaking too direct, too strong. It's not cute and feminine like this. And some people naturally talk like that, which is fine if that's your natural voice. But because of this, because of what I'm doing, it's seen as negative. No. No, 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 no. No. You know, and I just wanted to, you know, dive a little bit into girl bosses, the culture of girl bosses, and how it gives minority women FOMO. Y'all just giving us FOMO, because we're not even FOMO, because we have no fear of missing out. It just has us, we're left out. So here's another fun mainstream term that we're left out of. We can't drink mimosas at brunch talking about hashtag girl boss, because we're not seen as that. You know, Issa Rae is seen as a boss. Regina King is seen as a boss. Viola Davis is seen as a boss. Oprah Winfrey is seen as a boss. Michelle Obama is seen as a boss. Nowhere these women go do they enter a war room and these men thought, oh my god, there goes a hashtag girl boss. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. It's not needed. Just be the boss you are. Be the strong boss you are. And if people are uncomfortable, then let people be uncomfortable. Let people be uncomfortable. It's a little bit uncomfortability. You know what comfortability is? A comfortability leads to them understanding. People being uncomfortable always leads to understanding, because if you don't change your ways, they're going to keep being uncomfortable until they have to break down and figure out how to get comfortable, which means that it leads to learning, which means it leads to unlearned behavior. And we just need unlearned behavior going forward. That's all. But I think I went a little bit over my normal time. You know, I had a lot to say about this term, because this term really, as a 25-year-old woman, you know, it's just like one more thing that I have to think about. It's like one more failure. It's like one more failure in my book. Like, I'm not a hashtag girl boss, so it's like, ugh, Jesus freaking Christ. Like, here's another failure in the books. But it's like, it can't really be a failure if it wasn't meant for me, you know? So that's all I got. Ain't got no more for y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe, and, you know, let me know what you guys think of the term girl boss. If you love it, girl. Like, I love it for you. And, you know, if you also feel like it's patronizing and condescending, then please let me know below, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye.